Jeff, you go first.
All right, thank you. Howdy, y'all. As you can see, we're standing here today in front of the White House demanding accountability and justice, standing in solidarity from Vietnam to the Texas coast to St. James Parish in Louisiana, because Formosa has committed injustices against the peoples of Vietnam, has committed injustices against the people of Texas, and is trying everything within their power to commit injustices in Southeast Louisiana. And we're here today, standing hand in hand across the globe, saying no more Formosa Plastics, no more pollution, no more exploitation, no more greed, and no more collusion with politicians, local, national, or global. It is time that we stand up to this serial polluter and say, Formosa Plastics, you are not welcome in our communities. You must be accountable for the injustices that you have already committed. And the Biden administration must stand up with communities, not with corporate polluters.
Thank you, Jeff. Tất cả chúng ta có mặt ở đây vì một cái lý do. Cái lý do duy nhất là chúng ta tranh đấu cho công bằng. Chúng ta đòi hỏi công lý cho những người Việt Nam ở trong nước và ngay cả những người dân Hoa Kỳ, đặc biệt nhất là những người đang ở Louisiana có mặt ở đây ngày hôm nay để cùng tranh đấu với chúng ta. Lúc đấy chị Nancy Bùi có nói là cái cuộc tranh đấu này đã bắt đầu 8 năm nay rồi. 8 năm tưởng là một cái đoạn đường dài, nhưng mà thật sự ra nó rất là ngắn. Nó ngắn là bởi vì chúng ta phải tin tưởng một điều. Chúng ta đang làm cái công việc. Cái công việc này là công việc phải làm và đã làm cái điều mà chúng ta nên làm. Và ngày hôm nay chúng ta có mặt ở đây cùng với lại những cộng đồng khác, cùng với lại những cộng đồng ở Louisiana, cùng với cộng đồng ở Hoa Kỳ, cùng với lại những cộng đồng tranh đấu cho bảo vệ môi trường và chống lại Formosa. Chúng ta sẽ đi đến cùng và chúng ta có một cái lời hứa chung với nhau là chúng ta sẽ đi đến cùng cho người dân Việt Nam và cho tất cả những nạn nhân Formosa. Đến đây có lẽ là chúng tôi xin được bắt đầu vào chương trình. Chúng tôi xin mời anh Việt Khang.
Việt Khang cũng cùng với bà con đồng hương đến trước tòa Bạch Ốc để cùng nhau lên tiếng để kêu gọi chính phủ Hoa Kỳ lên tiếng để đòi công bằng công lý cho những nạn nhân Formosa. Thì ngày hôm nay mặc dù là trời rất là lạnh nhưng mà thấy cái sự góp mặt cũng đông đủ của quý đồng hương. Việt Khang cũng cảm thấy rất là cảm động. Và bây giờ chúng ta cùng nhau hát một bài hát của Việt Khang sáng tác, bài hát Trả lại cho dân. Xin mời tất cả mọi người chúng ta cùng hát theo bài hát Trả lại cho dân của Việt Khang. Cảm ơn.
Trả
chân lý tự do, quyền xóa bỏ độc tài độc tôn. Trả lại đây cho anh quân nhân, quyền được sống đời trai hùng, quyền tự hào tự tôn nói dòng, đã bảo vệ non nước Việt Nam, đã bảo vệ dân lành Việt Nam. Trả lại đây quyền phúc quyết của toàn dân, dân biết điều gì dân cần để tự do mưu cầu hạnh phúc. Trả lại đây quyền chính đáng của người dân, dân biết chọn gì cho mình, cho Thái Bình non nước Việt Nam. Trả lại đây quyền phúc quyết của toàn dân, dân biết điều gì dân cần để tự do mưu cầu hạnh phúc. Trả lại đây quyền chính đáng của người dân, dân biết chọn gì cho mình, cho Thái Bình non nước Việt Nam. Trả lại đây quyền phúc quyết của toàn dân, dân biết điều gì dân cần để tự do mưu cầu hạnh phúc. Trả lại đây quyền chính đáng của người dân, dân biết chọn gì cho mình, cho Thái Bình non nước Việt Nam, cho Thái Bình non nước Việt Nam.
Amazing, thank you. Can we get a round of applause for that amazing song? Nancy was explaining to me that the demands of that song were give the power back to the people, give the people their freedom, restore their rights to live autonomously, and that Mr. Kong was imprisoned for 4 years for that song. It's really amazing to think that around the world there are people who are standing up for justice, standing up for what's right, sometimes at great personal cost. In Vietnam, it's no different. People jailed for speaking out for environmental justice, for restitution and retribution, for the fishing communities who have been so devastated by Formosa Plastics. It's my great pleasure, however, to introduce a shero of the global justice movement who has also, at great personal cost, stood up for what she believes is right, for what she knows to be just, recently completed a 30-day hunger strike, has on more than one occasion, in fact, put her body on the line because she believes that people, not polluters, that people, not those who would exploit communities in Texas and around the world, should be the priority of our government, should be the priority of the people who supposedly represent us. She also achieved a $50 million settlement against Formosa Plastics for the pollution that they perpetrated on Port Lavaca and Point Comfort, Texas, and Lavaca Bay. So without further ado, you don't want to listen to me, you want to listen to one of my favorite people on the planet, Diane Wilson.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you very much for being here on this, seems to me, pretty cold day, and out here in my favorite place in front of Washington, D.C. I noticed the fence is a little higher. A few years back, I went over it when it was lower, so I'm real glad to be here. Today, the reason why I'm here is I'm a fourth-generation fisherwoman, and I have lived on the mid-Texas Gulf Coast, and I have been fighting Formosa Plastics in Point Comfort, Texas for 35 years. We have a fishing fleet of oystermen, of shrimpers, of crabbers, and some of those are Vietnamese from South Vietnam when Saigon fell. They came over. So we have Vietnamese shrimpers, we have Vietnamese crabbers. So when I first heard about what Formosa had did in Vietnam, I could very well relate, because all of the people I care about and the water that I care about have to do with the water and have to do with, unfortunately, with Formosa Plastics. And so I am here to give solidarity to the Vietnamese communities for the victims, the fishermen in Vietnam, and that currently what we have did, I did do a 30-day hunger strike, but now we're occupying Formosa's front gate, gate number 3, their front ditch, and we have been there for 70 days. And we are trying to pressure Formosa Plastics in Taiwan, responsible for what they did in Vietnam, to have meetings to discuss the claims and the grievances of the victims of the Formosa Plastics marine disaster. And I am here just to let you know that we have formed a coalition that is international. We are connected with the Taiwanese in Vietnam, where Formosa is in Taiwan, where Formosa is from, with the Vietnamese, with the Vietnamese American communities, with the Louisiana communities that are fighting Formosa Plastics, that's trying to expand there. And after 35 years, I can tell them every time I see Sharon, I say, you do not want that plant in your facility. And even now, with 2,500 acres, 3,000 workers, they're the largest landowners in 3 counties. They are still trying to expand, even with a $50 million lawsuit, even with zero discharge of plastic. Right now, they have violated their zero discharge of plastic 563 times, and we have fined them over $14 million, and still they persist. We do not want Formosa Plastics up. Thank you very much.
Diane, you have to stay here with me. We are here today, and we are looking for tomorrow. Any advice that you can give to us?
Never give up. Never give up.
Bà ấy bảo rằng là chúng ta không bao giờ bỏ cuộc, chúng ta nhất định, chúng ta cương quyết, chúng ta sẽ phải chiến đấu cho đến ngày mà chúng ta thành công. Không bao giờ bỏ cuộc. Một lần nữa, ladies and gentlemen, Diane Wilson.
All right. Well, because a lot of us are coming here from Texas, Louisiana, brought some Louisiana culture with us. Not just Miss Sharon, we got some Louisiana music too. But first, before the band, if everyone would just join me in a couple few chants, all right? So this message is for Formosa Plastics, for the governments of Vietnam and Taiwan, and the United States, and Texas, and Louisiana. Formosa Plastics. Justice for victims. Release the prisoners. No more Formosa! Never give up! Woo! And ladies and gentlemen, now, from our friends in the Too Much Talent Jazz Band, we got some Louisiana culture, Louisiana music. Jazz band, amazing, y'all. We should have brass bands literally everywhere we go. Okay, I will. One of the driving forces for This event today and for this international solidarity movement is an indefatigable, unstoppable, stubborn, Diane's word, not mine, activist and just an absolute gem of a human, with the Justice for Victims of Formosa Plastics, Nancy Bui. Woo!
First, let's speak in English and then Vietnamese follow. I involved in this by chance. I'm a reporter and I'm a filmmaker, documentary filmmaker. When I heard the cry from Vietnam and the plea from Bishop Nguyễn Thái Hợp, I cannot ignore. So we formed with John Hoa here, a group we formed Justice for Formosa Victims, and it's almost 8 years and we're still fighting. Why I'm stubborn? Just because I'm working with lawyer in Taiwan, the people who represent our victim in Taiwan court, and I work with the victim directly. You know, day over here, night over there. So many days I don't sleep. I work in the U.S. daytime and I work at nighttime with Taiwanese. And then many times I couldn't sleep after all that meeting. And all the time that I talk with people, I cry. Many children, they have to stop school because their parents are no longer afford to pay tuition. Many of them live without parents because their parents have to go away for work to support the family, to send money to support family. And many of them are the children of the prisoner. They told me that, Miss Nancy, I miss my parents. I miss my mom. I miss school. So that's the reason for me to be stubborn. That's the reason for me to never give up. And I'm standing here to say thanks to all the people who are supporting us, for our alliance, for the media, for the community, helping us and stand behind us, in front of us, wherever you go, you support us. That's all I can say. And I want to tell you that now the Vietnamese people still didn't get their compensation. The Vietnamese people now in jail. The Vietnamese people now in devastating. They have to leave their community, their family. So I want to send a message to the Vietnamese government. Release all the prisoners. Let the victim complete their paper for Taiwan courts and U.S. courts. They do nothing. They just do the paperwork. Why do you have to arrest them? Why you have to
we're all moving.
Them? Why you have to prison them?
Vẫn lại bạn ơi.
Watch out, cameras. You're backing up. Use your tripod.
Alright, maybe we can have a banner like this. I think with the White House back just like this. Yeah, and then if we can get some people to help hold behind the banner.
Đi với chúng tôi 8 năm
Thank
rồi,
you. We can get you right here.
thực thi với chúng tôi tới khi em cái điều đó là chúng tôi đem rất nhiều cái tất cả và chúng ta để chúng ta rằng những người của chúng ta dù có ở xa xôi vẫn tiếp tục lo lắng cho người dân ở trong nước, vẫn tiếp tục muốn giúp đồng bào qua khỏi cơn khó khăn này. Xin thầy cảm ơn quý vị một lần nữa.
revoke, we can pause.
Alright, just put this right here. Are you good?
Have we all sort of resituated ourselves, or do we need a moment? Maybe we'll take a moment. All right. I think we've resituated ourselves. And is it not the most Nancy thing ever that she's literally talking the entire time that the Secret Service is moving us off the street? It is literally the most Nancy thing in the history of Nancy things. So I think we've got a song next. Yes? Vietnam is next. Amazing.
Dạ thưa quý vị, bây giờ mình Việt Nam tất cả quý vị đồng hương nếu mà ai thuộc xin hát theo hoặc là mình mở trong cái iPhone của mình Việt Nam lyrics ạ. Dạ.
Từ vào đời Việt Nam hai câu nói bên cạnh tôi Việt Nam nước tôi Việt Nam tên gọi là người Việt Nam hai câu nói sau cùng thi địa đời Việt Nam nơi miền sinh tươi Việt Nam nơi vào sông núi tự do công bình và ai muôn đời Việt Nam không đòi xương máu Việt Nam kêu gọi thương nhau Việt Nam đi xây đất yên vui dài lâu tương lai lửa tiếng soi toàn thế giới Việt Nam ta nguyện tranh đấu cho đời tình yêu đây là ý giới tình thương đem về muôn nơi Việt Nam đây tiếng nói để xây miền tươi Việt Nam quê hương đất nước sang người Việt Nam
Thank y'all so much. Amazing. Our next speaker, are you ready? Yes. All right. Our next speaker is Dong Di Mong. Welcome, thank you.
Xin chào quý vị. Trong cuộc tranh đấu để tìm công lý cho những nạn nhân của Formosa thì trong trường hợp này chúng ta không phải tranh đấu với lại một công ty bình thường, mà họ là một đại công ty. Họ có chi nhánh ở khắp nơi trên thế giới, và dĩ nhiên họ cũng có một cái đội ngũ luật sư hết sức là hùng mạnh. Và cái điều đó nó khiến cho cái cuộc tranh đấu để mà tìm công lý cho các nạn nhân Formosa nó thêm phần khó khăn. Và riêng đối với lại Việt Nam thì không chỉ cái sự hùng mạnh của Formosa đã là đủ, mà bên cạnh đó họ còn được sự hỗ trợ của chính quyền Việt Nam. Chính quyền Việt Nam đã gây rất là nhiều khó khăn, và hàm ý trong cái sự gây khó khăn của họ là họ bảo vệ cho Formosa, và điều đó họ đã phản bội lại đồng bào của mình, phản bội lại lợi ích của dân tộc và của đất nước. Vì vậy cho nên là cuộc đấu tranh với Formosa là một cuộc đấu tranh khó khăn, và nó sẽ là một cuộc đấu tranh lâu dài. Tuy nhiên, mục đích của cuộc đấu tranh là công lý, và với giá trị công lý thì tôi tin rằng nó là một cái giá trị đáng để chúng ta theo đuổi cho đến khi nào mà chúng ta đạt được mục đích sau cùng. Bởi lẽ suy cho cùng thì công lý cũng chính là cái điều mà tất cả chúng ta đều mong muốn, không chỉ là người dân Việt Nam, không chỉ nạn nhân Formosa, mà đó là yêu cầu chung của nhân loại. Xin cảm ơn. Xin chào lại.
Thank you. One of the things that I was just informed, Dong is an attorney representing victims of Formosa who's been threatened with arrest in Vietnam and has actually had to seek asylum here in the States. Once again, one of these examples of standing up for justice, threatening one's life and freedom. And, in so many ways, that's what this moment and this movement really is about, is standing together, telling this company who has victimized so many all over the world, who's attempting to victimize more in the Gulf South and beyond, and who just keeps taking and taking and taking and taking. And for what? For their profits, plain and simple. And so it's time, once again, to say to Formosa Plastics, justice for victims! Release the prisoners! No more Formosa! Never give up! And you know who never gives up is the Louisiana... Oh, actually, I think we have a song. Sorry, Sharon. I almost had the perfect segue for you there. It was going to be amazing. But before we get to Miss Sharon, do we have one more song from the Too Much Talent brass band? Jazz band, sorry. Yeah? Okay, let's go. y'all saw y'all had this. You had this whole audience, this whole park. Heck yeah, amazing. Bringing the Louisiana culture and bringing the Louisiana fight. It's so hard. I mean, I'm always just like in awe and deeply honored and deeply humbled to be in the position to introduce Miss Sharon Levine from St. James Parish, Louisiana, who's fighting Formosa and winning. Fighting Formosa and winning. Fighting Formosa and winning. Miss Sharon Levine, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Jeffrey. We are going to win. I must say one thing. My name is Sharon Levine, and I'm from St. James, Louisiana, and we are going to win. Formosa met the right person. They met the right town. We formed Rise St. James in 2018 because our politicians, no good politicians, voted for Formosa Plastics to come into my community that's already overburdened with pollution. We have benzene in our drinking water. The politicians don't care. The industry talk to them, but not to the citizens. They approve every permit that comes across the desk. I don't think they even read it. They just, approve it. So we stood up to Formosa Plastics way back in 2018, and we said no more. We said St. James is full. We have 12 industries within a 10-mile radius. We already can't breathe the air. We can't drink the water. So what more do they want? They want death. We already have women getting pregnant and having miscarriages. When they get pregnant again, they have preemies. We have all types of health effects from all of these pollution. So we had to stand. We had to go to God in prayer and ask God what to do. And he told us to fight. So we're fighting every industry that tried to come into St. James, especially in the 5th District. We have over 100 storage tanks within a 10-mile radius where I live. When there's an oil spill, it affects the people. We had an oil spill the day after Hurricane Ida. This industry did not report it to our public officials. Rise St. James reported it. We did a video to let everyone know that we were being affected by this oil spill. 2 weeks after we reported it, they went to the parish to let them know that there was an oil spill and they would clean it up. People called and said that there was oil in the water in the ditch. People said that they are sick, they are tired of breathing the dirty air, they're tired of buying bottled water, and sometimes when we take baths, our body itch because the chemicals are going on our skin and making us itch. Some people have gone to the doctor because of the skin. So many people have sinus infections, throat, strep throat, and all kind of breathing problems. I'm going through medical problems right now myself, but I'm not going to give up. I'm going to fight. We have a force behind us. We have more people came on to join with Rise St. James, and now we're going to spread our wings to other parishes in St. James, in Louisiana, because we're right next to a plant called CF, an ammonia plant. It's about maybe about 3 miles from my home, 3 or 4 miles, and that plant pollutes so much. People are calling us and telling us that they have 2 or 3 sisters died in 1 month with cancer. So many people have cancer. Cancer is eating us up. People are dying rapidly. I stand here today with you, and I want President Biden to hear me. This is my 3rd time coming to talk to President Biden. It's time for him to come and meet with me. Because if you don't stop this, more people will die. My grandson is being bullied at school because of what I'm doing. He shouldn't have to go through this. And I shouldn't have to give up my life to fight for the people in my community. But I will, because it's the only way we're going to live. Because our politicians are not with us. And this needs to stop. We have a right to breathe clean air. We have a right to drink clean water. We cannot fish in our river anymore because it's polluted. We cannot shrimp in our river anymore because it's polluted because of industry. Industry don't care. They don't care if we live or die. All they want is the profit. But we are tired of being a sacrifice. We will not be a sacrifice anymore. Formosa came to the right place, and this is the stop. I told them back in 2018, this is the stop. You will not be built in St. James Parish, and I mean that. And I want to talk to the officials. They will not speak with me. They spoke to our parish council. Every time I asked for a meeting, for him to get me a meeting with Formosa, I did not get a meeting because he's in the pockets of Formosa Plastics and other things that's going on in St. James. My parish is so corrupt. They don't care about our lives. They don't care about the children. They don't care if we walk outside and breathe oil. They have oil in the air. You better not talk too much when you pass by the facilities because the odor goes into your mouth and down your throat. We are so tired. I have 2 brothers with cancer. My sister-in-law died with breast cancer. She worked at a facility. So many people, they don't live long after they work at these facilities. Their years on their life is cut off, maybe by 25 years. Well, I want to live, and I want to live a healthy life. I talked to Michael Regan from the EPA, and I told him I want to live a healthy life. I'm sick now, but I want to get well. And I want my children, my grandchildren to live a healthy life. This needs to stop. Do I need to come to Washington, D.C. every time something is going on, every time an industry want to come into St. James? Somebody had to work. And it was me and Rise St. James. We are still doing the work. We are still crying for help. And we're still asking President Biden to step in. If something happens to my grandchild at school while he's being bullied, his blood will be on your hands, President Biden. And I know you hear me. You've been listening to me for a long time, but you won't meet with me. I need you to meet with me so I could tell you face to face what's going on and how we are dying. Do you want us to die and our blood is on your hands? Answer me, President Biden. I know you hear me. And Kamala Harris, too. All of you that sit in the office and make these laws, but you don't care about the people. Let us sit in on the lawmaking, and we could tell you what's going on in St. James. We had no idea that you didn't know we were being polluted. You sit there and look at us. We come to you all and talk. Diane been speaking, Nancy been speaking. What are you going to do about it? And these people in Vietnam, they shouldn't be in prison. They have the right to speak up. Just like I'm speaking, they have that right to speak. So if you can't speak for yourself, who can speak for you? But I leave all of this in God's hand because I know a change is going to come. And I know St. James is going to breathe clean air one day, and we're going to drink clean water. But we need everybody's help to help us to be on board with us because we will be victorious. I can promise you that. Thank you for listening to me.
Amazing, Ms. Sharon. Amazing. Always such an inspiration. And I mean, thanks to the brilliant people who put this together, the next song is about exactly what Ms. Sharon just said. This next song is about exactly what Ms. Sharon just said, which is we must speak up. We cannot stay quiet. We will not stay quiet. So, to the next song.
Thank you. Rồi, phải lên tiếng nha. Phải lên tiếng. Dạ. Phải lên tiếng. Phải lên tiếng. Dạ.
Thank you so much. Amazing. I think this is it. We're reaching nearing the end of our program. We have one amazing person. Where's John? Oh, John is getting interviewed by the radio. So, okay, John is back. Before John goes though, I think this is like a really important point. Thank you, Nancy, for bringing it up. I've recently learned this as well. Is that here in the very near future, Ms. Sharon, Diane, Nancy, and a couple of other folks are actually going in to meet with White House officials to discuss justice against Formosa Plastics, accountability for Formosa Plastics, deliver petitions, and to make sure that what we have brought out here today in this park, on this street, in front of the White House, goes inside that building. So we know that there are no more fiercer advocates than the people who are going to be walking inside of that building, so give them hell, y'all. Meantime, John, are you ready? All right. Bring us home.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for coming here today. This is not an usual day for everyone because we are here to fight for justice for the Vietnamese fishermen, for the Vietnamese and American fishermen in Texas, and for our St. James Parish in Louisiana. A lot of people think that we are against the business when we fight against Formosa. No, we are not against business. Business corporations help us make our life better. But we are against the greediness, the fail to take responsibility when they have to. Just like there was the oil spill in 2010 in the Gulf of Mexico, not too far away from where I live in New Orleans. Right after the explosion, British Petroleum took the responsibility clean up the ocean, pay the victims, and pay for the business to get back to normal. It took British Petroleum and U.S. government 10 years to finish the job. Versus Formosa, they fail every corner to take the responsibility. They fail in Vietnam, they fail in Texas, and they will fail in Louisiana if they have a chance to do that. So please, don't think that we are against the business. We are against the pollution. We are against the greediness of big corporations. And I want to take this opportunity to thank you, the friend of the earth, who has spent hours and tireless work to help us out. And I want to thank the media and the people who are here with us today, because you are extending our voices to the government and to Formosa company. And thank you, and God bless everyone.
Thank you, anh John. Thank you, anh Hòa. Chúng tôi about to close the program for the day. However, I have chị Nancy. Yes. Everybody here speak Vietnamese. That's right here. Okay. Chị Nancy, tôi có một câu hỏi, hai câu hỏi cho chị. Con đường chúng ta đi đã đi đến đâu rồi và cái bước kế tiếp của chúng ta là gì?
Cảm ơn anh. Câu hỏi này chúng ta đã đi gần 8 năm, nói về thời gian, còn nói về vấn đề cái cuộc tranh đấu đã tới đâu đó, thì cái cuộc tranh đấu chúng ta thắng lợi lớn nhất là tối cao pháp viện đã cho nạn nhân kiện tại Taiwan, tại Đài Loan để mà đòi cái thiệt hại. Và chúng ta còn rõ ràng là người dân chưa được đền bù, biển chưa được làm sạch, và còn bao nhiêu người trong tù. Thì đó là cái con đường trước mặt. Nhưng mà chúng ta đã có cái gọi là cái channel, con đường để đi. Thành thử Triều Giang một lần nữa mong mỏi quý vị tiếp tục đi với chúng tôi. Nhiều người nói trời ơi giờ này sư chị còn nói Formosa làm cái gì, mệt quá bà ơi. Nhưng mà thưa quý vị, nếu chúng ta không đi tiếp con đường của chúng ta thì chúng ta sẽ không đi tới đâu. 8 năm qua bỏ uổng đi, người dân bao chuyện oan ức vẫn còn đó. Và chúng ta là ai nếu chúng ta không nói lên tiếng nói của đồng bào chúng ta. I like to speak a little English so people know. He asked me where we are in the fight. So I told him that almost 8 years talking about time, and then where we are on the lawsuit with Taiwan. At Taiwan, we luckily have the Taiwan court give the victim the jurisdiction to sue in Taiwan, to ask for damage, to ask for cleaning up, and to release the prisoner. And we still have a long way to go because the victim not been compensated adequately yet. The clean still dirty and people are still in prison. So we're asking you to stand with us, to support us until that's done. Thank you so much.
Chưa. Second question. 5 phút nữa là chị sẽ vào gặp một phái đoàn, chị trong phái đoàn vào gặp đại diện của Tổng thống Hoa Kỳ, ông Joseph Biden. Chị sẽ nói gì với lại Tổng thống Hoa Kỳ, nói gì với lại chính phủ Hoa Kỳ?
Chúng tôi sẽ nói rằng Hoa Kỳ có trách nhiệm trong vấn đề này, bởi vì một trong 18 công ty làm thành cái công ty Formosa Hà Tĩnh, ba cái tổ chức, 3 cái công ty đó là công ty của Hoa Kỳ. Vì thế nên Hoa Kỳ không thể làm ngơ được. Cái câu thứ nhất. Cái thứ hai là vấn đề dùng mọi cái biện pháp về vấn đề ngoại giao hay là bất kỳ cái gì đó để chính phủ Việt Nam phải ngừng ngay những cái chuyện mà hăm dọa, đánh đập, bỏ tù, bắt bớ những người. Bây giờ người dân người ta đi làm hồ sơ để theo ý của tòa Đài Loan và bên Hoa Kỳ này mà lại đi đánh đập người ta thì không hiểu quý vị là ai. Quý vị là ai? Quý vị làm việc cho người Việt Nam hay làm việc cho Formosa hay làm việc cho ai đó? Quý vị không xứng đáng là chính phủ của đất nước đó. Và thưa anh rằng cái điều đó chúng tôi sẽ đi tới cùng và đòi hỏi nước Hoa Kỳ này, chính phủ Biden phải áp lực để thả những người tù nhân của chúng ta. The second question he asked me là gì vậy? what you will say to what will I say to President Biden? I tell him that there are 18 companies made up the Formosa Plastics in Vietnam. 3 of them are American companies. So American government have the responsibility on this case. We ask him to use his power to make Formosa have to take responsibility for what they done in Vietnam, and then use any power he can to ask Vietnamese people to release all the prisoners and stop them from retaliate the victim who are do paperwork for the court requirement in Taiwan and also in the U.S.
Thank you very much. Chương trình của chúng ta đến đây là kết thúc. This is about to close for the protest today. Have a nice weekend, everybody. Thanks for coming and never give up.
And we got the Too Much Time Band to play us out, y'all. Thank you so much for being here.